Hi everyone! I'm coming to you with I guess it's my 29 and 30 week vlog. I had the best of intentions of doing one last week for you, especially since I went to the doctor, but not only was it a normal busy week, I also was dealing with something and was in a lot of pain and didn't get around to making a video. So now I'm approaching my 31 week and finally making my 29/30 week one. So I guess my biggest fascinating hardship has been dealing with a boil. I didn't even know what a boil was until I got one. And then in Googling, trying to figure out what in the world was growing off my rear end, that's when I discovered it was a boil. It was extremely painful, especially because it was on my butt and not, I don't know, it's like it's on the crease where your butt and your leg come together and the outer quadrant. So sitting, I didn't realize how much you sit, but even standing, because of it being right in that crease, like the pressure, oh my god, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lay without being in excruciating pain. I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment, an OB appointment last Wednesday, like a week ago Wednesday, and I was in so much pain Monday that by Tuesday morning I called the doctor and asked to get in that day, and they agreed that it sounded pretty bad. So of course one look right away and the doctor's like, oh yeah, it's a boil, it's infected. So he gave me antibiotics and said that if it didn't start draining they would have to lance it. And at that point I was actually all for it because it hurt and was so swollen and so painful that I was like, whatever you gotta do, if you need to cut it out right now, go for it. But he said to come home and put warm to hot, moist compress on it. So I sat with a washcloth and a heating pad on it, and that day it started oozing out nasty stuff and continued to drain for like the next 4 or 5 days. And I think it drained so much because then sitting on it, it just hit like a pressure point and it would bleed. So even once the boil itself had drained, I just had a lot of blood. So I guess I probably should have started this off with like a TMI alert, because that's a little more information than you probably wanted to know about me. But yeah, unfortunately that's what I was dealing with. And in that appointment, we combined it. We canceled that Wednesday appointment since it was just a day early, and I was so caught up in my problem that I didn't even think to ask about my glucose test. I mean, they never called, so I assumed I passed, but as far as by how much, any numbers and how it looked, I had no idea. So they scheduled me for another appointment, let's see, it was on Monday, to follow up with the boil and make another OB appointment. So I went in on Monday and it was finally feeling better. I think by Sunday, it was the first day, it was really feeling better. And by Monday it was looking even and feeling better. And now it looks and feels way better. It's just, the bruise is finally fading, because I had like a bruise that big. I mean, like black and blue, huge nasty bruise. It was so horrible. And then like the boil itself was like round and hard and like that big around. It was so gross. But so I asked at my OB appointment, how my glucose testing came back, and I want to say it was like at 117, and anything under 130 is good. Obviously anything under 120 is even better, so I was very happy with that. The only thing that they weren't happy with was my blood work that they also did with that to check, I don't know what all they checked, but one of the things was iron, and I forget the numbers that they like to see, but I was like half of a point lower. So he said, if you haven't been taking your prenatals, you need to make sure you take them, And if you have been taking them, it wouldn't hurt to take an extra iron supplement. And I've been taking my prenatals pretty religiously, maybe, I don't know, like a handful of times throughout the whole pregnancy. I've missed a day. So I know it's not that. And it really wasn't shocking because as a kid, whenever I'd have blood work done for like a routine reason, I was always pre-anemic. So I never had to take supplements. I mean, I think sometimes my mom would buy me vitamins with extra iron, but my prenatals are actually low iron, so totally didn't make sense. But I'm now taking extra iron. Well, it's just an extra pill I'm taking. And I swear, in the 2 days that I've been taking it, that I already noticed the dark circles are fading under my eyes because they seem to be getting worse. So I hope that means that it's working and that everything's fine. I mean, he didn't seem concerned about it, but still. As far as weight, I think in my last vlog I had said, I'd gained 20 pounds through the pregnancy. So I was really kind of dreading stepping on the scale almost 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago when I went. And I got on and I had lost a pound. So this last week I didn't know what to think when I got on the scale at the doctor's office on Monday. And I was holding strong. So I've now put on only 19 pounds through the pregnancy. And I asked about it as far as, going up and down and all that. And he said that to look at the big picture, like over 7-week span, because I put on those 2 pounds a week for 3 weeks and now I've lost a pound and held strong, it balances out and he's not concerned at all. He said if that continues to be the trend, that I don't put any more weight on for the next couple weeks, then there's going to be an issue. And really, I think I found over the last week, I just wasn't as hungry as I was for a while. Like, for a while I just couldn't get enough to eat, and then it tapered off. Well, then a couple days ago, it started up again, and I can't seem to eat enough. Like, I snack, and I eat meals, and I eat probably a million little meals because I'm just always hungry. Always. So, I wouldn't be surprised when I go back next week if I've gained again. Besides the boil, I felt really, really good. My energy levels come and go. I'm tired at night. Like, by the time it's time for bed, I feel like I'm very happy to see my bed. And I think because I've been so tired, I've been sleeping pretty good. A lot of tossing and turning still. The baby is still moving a ton. And there was one, it was probably about a week ago, maybe, I don't know. It was one night through all this boil issue. She was really, really low. I could just feel her low. And all of a sudden, I felt this, like, electric shock through my body. And it happened twice that night. Kind of like back to back after a couple minutes. And it was scary and I didn't like it. And I don't know what she does. I don't know if she kicks or moves and pinches a nerve. But it, like, sends this whole electric shock up me. And scares the crap out of me. And it hurts. And then I've had that happen just the other night again. So it's when she's lower, because I can feel her kicking at like my cervix and at my bladder and everything. I can tell she's low. And then again, when she like moves up higher, I have the issues with the breathing still. It's gotten better overall, but it's still, like, I've noticed she's kind of settled back up high, which I'll take that over those electric zings. That was crazy and kind of scary. But overall, still doing really, really good. Still enjoying the pregnancy and can't believe it's going to be drawing to an end soon. I'm really, really sad about that because I've enjoyed it so much. But I will be excited to see her and hold her and make sure she's healthy because I always worry about that. And decide on a name because we still haven't decided on a name. We weren't sharing it, but then we really don't have one, so there's another reason why we're not sharing. The little bit that I did share of a couple names we had in mind to just my best friend, my mother, and my mother-in-law, they all had opinions about it, and I didn't like hearing opinions, so that's why we stopped sharing. And I don't know if we'll choose one of those names or something completely different. And I haven't really wanted to look at my baby name book because I don't know, I can't get motivated to decide. So maybe near the end we will do that. But the exciting thing is we get an ultrasound on Monday. So this coming Monday we have an ultrasound, and hopefully she looks good and everything's good. I'm really, really anxious for that. And we start our birthing classes on Monday as well. So next week is a very busy, exciting week. This week I don't know, you probably can't see in here, and it's probably a good thing because it is a total mess. I've been collecting fabric and working on many different projects, but the biggest one right now that has created the newest mess is her bedding. I got this crazy idea to make her own bedding, and I'd say when some people nest by cleaning, my nesting has been creative because I also took up crocheting a couple weeks ago and started crocheting her hats. So totally random things that I'm doing, but here's her bedding that I'm working on. I'm making a rag quilt, and this is going to be the bumper. I'm making the whole set to match. It matches on the back, coordinated. But as far as the rag effect, it's kind of will all wind up with those cut on all the seams, and you wash it and it gets really soft and frayed looking, and yeah. I'm hoping I like it when it's all done. Right now I'm on the fence. I like all the fabrics. I wanted it to be different, but I'm not sure how it's all coming together. So I'm working like crazy on it right now. We'll at least get the bumper done. I'll cut all the little snippets, the seams and everything, to get them to fray and wash it and see if I like it to proceed forward. Otherwise, it might wind up on eBay and I'll start from scratch again, which my husband will kill me. I'm sure he will, because there's been so many decisions with it and so many trips to the fabric store and everything, but it's what I like to do. So I know I've probably got more to say, but I feel like this is already really, really long, and I hate that because all my videos nowadays are long. And if I just make more updates, maybe they wouldn't be so long. But yeah. I'm a furry mess because of working on with all this fabric. And some of it's really soft. Like this pink is, I love it. Really, really soft. And the brown is heavenly soft. But it means I'm a mess. So I will show you my belly. But I am furry everywhere. So yeah. Here is my big old belly. Very, very big. Now, both doctors that I saw last week and this week said how tiny I am. And then they measure me, and I measure on track. So, apparently I'm not that tiny. But, I think overall, they just have said how petite or tiny I am. And I guess they mean in general, which I am in general, so it's big. I don't know how well you can see my line, but it is now developed and it's kind of crooked. But I've got the big old line. Well, when I asked about my red dots I've got, and apparently that's from estrogen that causes them, and they're like, basically like I thought, little broken capillaries, but nothing to be concerned about and totally normal. So I think that's everything for now, and I will try to make more updates sooner rather than later, which I always say. I've been watching you all, and I don't always comment because I'm, like today, was working on the baby bedding and watching videos, so then I just go on to the next one and don't really comment on all of them. So I don't mean to, I'm watching, but talk to you all soon. Bye.